హాయ్ స్టూడెంట్స్, ఎలా ఉన్నారు? బాగున్నారు అనుకుంటున్నాను. ఓకే, హీట్ లెసన్ నుండి ఇంకో రెండు కాన్సెప్ట్లు ఉన్నాయి. ఒకటి మెల్టింగ్, రెండోది ఫ్రీజింగ్. ఆ రెండు చెప్పుకుంటే మనకి ఫస్ట్ లెసన్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, మెల్టింగ్ గురించి చెప్పుకుందాం. టేక్ ఏ ఐస్ క్యూబ్ ఇన్ టు ద బీకర్, insert the thermometer and note down the observations has been done in the thermometer. Now keep it on the burner, start heating. Now note down the observations in the thermometer for every 1 minute till the solid turns into liquid. Okay, now first find out the initial temperature of the ice cube present in the beaker is nothing but 0 or below the 0 degree centigrade. If below the 0 degree centigrade, start heating, start supplying the heat energy continuously, and the temperature present in the thermometer rises up to 0 degree centigrade. Understand? On constant heating of the beaker, the temperature is gradually decreases up to 0 degree centigrade. As long as you supply to the heat energy to the beaker, there is no rise in temperature beyond the 0 degree centigrade. That means, understand, at this temperature the ice melts and converts into water. Okay, this energy increases the internal energy of molecules of ice. Okay, as long as you supply the heat energy, the heat energy rises up to 0 degree centigrade, and keep supplying the heat energy, and there is no rise in temperature beyond the 0 degree centigrade. Where does the excess amount of heat goes? This energy increases the internal energy of ice molecules. These increases the internal energy of ice molecules, weakens the bond and break the bond between the ice molecules and start melting and converted into liquid. These take place at 0 degree centigrade or 273 Kelvin is called as a melting point. I will repeat once again. Okay, as long as you supply the heat energy to the ice cube present in the beaker, it reaches up to 0 degree centigrade, further increases the heat energy, there is no rise in temperature. Okay, the energy, that means this energy helps to increases the internal energy of ice molecules. These increases the internal energy, weakens the bond and break the bond between the two molecules of ice. That's why this helps to melting and start converted into liquid. This takes place at 0 degree centigrade or 273 Kelvin is called as a melting point. This process called as a melting. Understand? While ice start melting and converted into water, the internal energy, these energy used to weakens the bond between the water molecules and converted into liquid. This energy utilized by break their bonds and weakens the bond between the molecule of ice and converted into liquid. Understand? This process is called as a melting. Melting is change the phase from solid to liquid at a constant temperature and pressure is called as a melting. Melting takes place at 0 degree centigrade is called as a melting point. Understand? Now understand about that. How much energy is required to change the solid state to liquid state? Okay, the amount of energy, that means Q, energy means Q. The Q energy is required to change the 1 gram of solid to liquid at a constant pressure and temperature is called as a latent heat of fusion. Okay, once again I will repeat you. The Q energy is required to change the 1 gram of solid to completely into the liquid at a constant temperature and pressure is called as a latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization is denoted by letters L. L is equal to Q by M. Q means heat energy, M means mass. That means 1 gram of solid. Okay, that is already known about the units of L. Q by M. Calorie by gram for Celsius and joule by kgs in SS system. Okay, now the specific heat of fusion, the latent heat of fusion of ice is 80 calorie by gram, is called melting. Now freezing. Let us understand now freezing. In while winter season, you have to observe. You might have been observed the coconut oil ghee converted into solid state. Why did this happen? And also the water bottle kept in the fridge after a few hours, the water converted into solid. Why did this happen? Because there is a small reason. The internal energy of water is more comparable to the ice. While the water converted into ice, they lost the internal energy and converted into liquid state to solid state by losing the internal energy. Understand? That means while the water converted into liquid state to solid state by losing the internal energy is called as a freezing. Understand? ఎప్పుడైతే వాటర్ ఎనర్జీ ఇంటర్నల్ ఎనర్జీ కోల్పోతుందో టర్న్స్ ఇంటూ ఫేజ్ లిక్విడ్స్ టు సాలిడ్ is called as a freezing. And also you have to might understand about that a small reason. There is a take a glass water bottle with a tightly lid, fill the water to the bottle up to equal volume of bottle and fix the lid tightly such as no water droplet coming out from the bottle. Kept into the fridge for few hours. Take out from the fridge of the water bottle. What did you notice? That the water bottle broken. Why does this happen? Did you understand? After completely filled by the water of the equal amount of a bottle with the fix the lid with tightly such as no drop of water coming out from the bottle, kept into the fridge. After a few hours, I noticed that the bottle broken. Why did this happen? Why did this happen? That means water equal volume of water was filled by the equal volume of bottle. There is no gap between the water and bottle volume. When kept into the fridge, after some time you notice that bottle broken. That means the volume of ice is more than the volume of water. You notice that equal volume was filled by the equal volume of water. There is no equal volume of water filled by the equal volume of glass water bottle. There is no gap between the water and bottle. So equal amount of volume of water filled by the equal volume of bottle. So but bottle broken. That means ice expand. That's why the volume of ice is more than the volume of water. And also you will notice that water expands on freezing. Understand? Water expands on freezing. You have to learn in 7th class, 8th class. Articles expand on heating. That means iron articles expand on heating. You done one experiment to understand about the iron expands on heating. Here is water expands on freezing. That's why the specific heat of ice is less than the comparable to the water. That's why the ice floats on the water. That means when water expands on freezing, freeze చేస్తే వాటర్ ఎక్స్పాండ్ అవుతుంది అంటే ఐస్ వాటర్ వాల్యూమ్ కంటే ఐస్ వాల్యూమ్ ఎక్కువ. అండ్ ఆల్సో దట్స్ మీన్ ద స్పెసిఫిక్ హీట్ ఆఫ్ ఐస్ ఈజ్ లో కంపారబుల్ టు ద వాటర్. దట్ మీన్స్ ద స్పెసిఫిక్ heat of ice is 1/2 and comparable to the water. Specific heat of water is 1. That's why ice floats on water. Is called as a freezing. Okay, students. దీంట్లో కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతాను. వాట్ ఈస్ meant by melting? What is the melting point? 2 questions. And what is the latent heat of fusion? What is meant by latent heat of fusion? The value of latent fusion of ice is dash. 3 questions from the melting. What is meant by melting? What is the melting point? And what is the value of latent heat of fusion of ice? And also next one, freezing. Why does the water converted into ice? What is the reason water converted into ice? And also what is the specific heat of ice? Understand? Okay, water expands on dash. Water expands on dash. Okay, స్టూడెంట్స్ ప్రతి ఒక్కరూ చూసేటప్పుడు మీకు రైట్ సైడ్న సబ్స్క్రైబ్ అని ఉంటుంది, అలా ప్రెస్ చేయండి. అలాగే లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ తమ్ము ఉంటుంది, అక్కడ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసింది. మీరే కాదు, మీకు తెలిసిన వాళ్ళ చేత కూడా సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయించండి. అలాగే తంబు సింబల్ మీద అలా ప్రెస్ చేయండి, దాన్ని లైక్ అంటారు, లైక్ చేయండి. అలాగే వీడియో కూడా షేర్ చేయండి మీకు నచ్చితే. ప్రతి ఒక్కరు కూడా చేస్తే నేను మరిన్ని వీడియోస్ చేయడానికి అవకాశం ఉంటుంది. సో ఇక్కడతోటి ఫస్ట్ లెసన్ అయింది. రేపు వీలైతే మీకు బిట్స్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను స్టూడెంట్స్. ఓకేనా స్టూడెంట్స్? బాయ్, థ్యాంక్ యూ.